Restoration is brought to you by
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutri-Mix. The goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk.
Another beautiful day is here and we are on Restoration with Stacy. Let's go take a word from our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutri-Mix. The goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk. Just add to water and enjoy the perfect cup of winning energy. Milo!
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Football pa. And Nutri Hisense as sponsor Euro 2020. Edia Maono. Nesa sunti na yatete TV so say who? Edia Maono. Eye Hisense Euro 2020 TV Super Promo. Kanwe kwajo brand new Hisense TV and ne dafo. Pictures ne clear na color ne deep. Sound quality ne so dia one it here. Hisense TV so dia entry power. About down one access you are. Akona utu sa abefo. 18th June, Akofim 11th July. Eye Hisense Euro 2020 TV Super Promo. Emma Refisa Hisense Nkwan Emma 5 years warranty. Eye Hisense Euro 2020 TV Super Promo. Ekoso wa Hisense showrooms e wa Ghana for na nyina. Kwaju dia na nsenya o. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people. Hisense, official sponsor at the Euro 2020.
Mata ankuma. Hey, omo fetuma.
Oh, Chaisa.
Na wontuma ne so jama GTP on.
Ayo.
Ha, jo. Hey, odem fua. No beauty ne so mfedi da.
Me da say. So when him say GTP there, and one na me this sporting. Na your designs no so there, e endless. I mean in Chemuda.
In Chemuda.
Clemento.
Yes.
You know I really like you.
Okay.
But that's your fabric. It doesn't look genuine.
Hey, design, GTP design.
GTP put the printed colors be sale. Share. When buying GTP, always check the design number on the label. The same number is printed on the selvage.
Oh, the wakamate. We are genuine. Yeah, we do a chamu bibi wate. Jack, shine your eye.
GTP is available in various shops, open market and online at www.buygtp.com.
GTP, timeless.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas extra long sanitary pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Hello, your friend Jackie. So we will be a winner who are the jet to semia and pimpino. You to me 5 gems if in Kitsadia, you need your brucia, your fans, any and down for anyam. Nanso, who bet to me about home by using a Donko hand sanitizer, debia, any brebia. Every say you to me 5 gems if in Yamanyasa is so. A Donko hand sanitizer, bet to me about home by debia, free gems, bacteria, you need in home. A Donko hand sanitizer, sure or dog. Never home by
FD Ashrisha said Jadian Kratoimu Ajiatum say. Underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor. But that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them. So they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
To help fight the spread of germs, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutrimix, the goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk. Just add to water and enjoy the perfect cup of winning energy.
Milo! Milo! This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
A big thank you to our sponsors, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hooch Cone and Choco Flakes, to High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people, to GTP, Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer, and Adonko Next Level. We say a big thank you. And we say a massive thank you to Multi-Credit Savings and Loans. And I will keep saying this, in COVID times, everything has been difficult for most people. But Multi-Credit is giving you the opportunity to come in groups for loans. So you can be in groups of 5, 7, and 9. These numbers are very prophetic numbers. So don't waste any time. Walk to any Multi-Credit office and they are going to attend to you and make sure your business is back to full speed. Or you can call them on the numbers that we have on the screen. And please note, there are terms and conditions. It's nothing really huge. I mean, definitely, you'll see and so you can say fire bedroom. Multi-Credit will never do that. So get in touch with Multi-Credit Savings and Loans. Let them help you expand your business or lift your business if your business is on the low side. We also want to say a very big thank you to Jim Ray Estate. They sell amazing lands that you don't have to deal with any land guards. You know that your lands are genuine and properly documented. So you should call Jim Ray Estates. Now then, of course, I cannot do this without my glam squad. Ophelia of ABS Collection on the Odoko Highway. Thank you to you. Divine Cassie, styled by Yemi. Yemi, thank you for styling my hair, and my hair extension is from Chocolate Hair. So I'm saying a very big thank you to Chocolate Hair. And to GH Beauty Artistry for making sure my guest is looking amazing. And of course to you, Divine Cassie, for my own face beat. To Soraya of the Souza Catering. Soraya, thank you so much for our food. We are grateful. Well, in life, we all dream of what we want our perfect life to be, but sometimes life can happen. And when life happens, you just have to pick yourself up and tell yourself you can do it and move on like nothing really happened. My guest today has an amazing story to tell us. A story that will get you to get up and say that when life happens, I must happen. My guest is Sophia Aryie. Sophie, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing well. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love your smile.
Thank you.
You really don't look like everything you've been through.
No.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Yes.
So let's get into talking. At what time did you feel everything had changed and life, as you did not expect, had happened to you?
It happened that way when I had an accident. I had an accident and then I was stabilized. And the first time I opened my eyes, a lot kept running through my mind. And that's where I actually realized that things are going to change. It's not going to be like how it used to be.
So before the accident, yes, what were you doing?
I'm a nurse by profession.
Beautiful.
Yes, and I work in theater. I was schooling. I was doing a lot of things. I am very active, and I was always up and about. So when it's happened and I couldn't feel my legs, that's where it really dawned on me, because when I opened my eyes, this time it's not in the kitchen where I'm cooking or I'm dressing my kids or I'm doing any other thing.
You are on the hospital bed, and this time you are the patient.
Yes.
When you have to be the one taking care of a patient.
Exactly. So it's really dawned on me, and I kept thinking. It was a lot of questions I kept asking myself. My dressing is going to change. My kids are going to be away from me for a long time. For the first time, before the accident, they go away. Maybe in a day, they go and spend some time with my brother or my mom. But this time, I know they were going to be away from me for a long time.
Because you're in the hospital.
Yes, because I'm in the hospital.
So where were you going when the accident happened?
Yes, I went to visit my mom. So I was sitting in front of her shop when somebody drove, and I was actually breastfeeding, my second one, yes. So she drove into my legs, but
it's not like you were in a car traveling and the accident
I wasn't
happened.
even by the roadside.
You were sitting or somewhere?
I was sitting mine somewhere.
Breastfeeding your child?
Breastfeeding. So it got the two of us.
Wait, didn't you see the car coming?
I didn't, because I was breastfeeding. I think when the car was closed, somebody was calling me that I should get up from there, but it was too late. So I actually lifted my daughter and was trying to get up, but it trapped the two of us. And then.
So how is your daughter?
Oh, she's very fine.
Because you lifted her?
Yes, because
the impact did not go there, but your leg was affected.
It trapped the two of us, but she didn't get any fracture at all. You know, God is always with the kids.
You are a hero.
Yeah. But I had fractures on both legs, down and then the thigh. So it was just gone. I knew that was the end.
And you had just woken up to visit your mom?
Yes.
Hotel baby, then someone just drives
into my legs like that.
No, this is painful than you traveling in a car and you have an accident.
That is it. And that's why I kept asking God why. But at a point in time, somebody asked me, why not you? I mean, anything can happen to anybody.
And at least you had life.
Exactly. So I moved on.
So when the nurse had now become the patient, how did you encourage yourself?
Well, I'm naturally a person who don't give up, and I'm always positive-minded. From the beginning, it really hit me, and I wanted to give up, but I came to myself and said that, no, this is not you. You are not the type who easily give up. So I'm really going to push to see myself no matter what. From the beginning, when we got to the accident center, they wanted to amputate the legs.
No.
Because it was very bad. Very, very bad. So, but luckily for me, when we were going in the car, when the car was blowing the horn and all the speed, one of our doctor's number came to my mind. So I called him, and he also sent somebody to meet me.
Ahead of you?
Yes. So he spoke to the orthopedic surgeons that they shouldn't amputate. I work in the plastic surgery, so they were willing to help the orthopedics to do anything about it. And they told me it's really going to be difficult, but I wanted to be back on my feet. It's better than sitting at one place, because definitely when they amputate, you'll be in the wheelchair forever. Even with my legs, I sat in the wheelchair for almost 3 years without going anywhere. So I was really willing to push hard. So far, I've gone through 19 surgeries, and I'm okay. I'm fine.
19 surgeries?
Yes, 19. Just on my legs.
Can we see how your leg looks like?
Tantala, I've never done this before, but okay, so that is it. After the healing.
Just after the plastic surgery?
Surgery and everything.
Wait, just from that hit?
Yes. You know, when the car hit me, she actually left the car on us and she went away.
She ran out.
You know, in that community where there are a lot of people, when something like that happened, they either beat the drivers or you. So I think that's what she wanted to.
She panicked.
Exactly. So the trotro drivers passing, they helped and then they pushed the car away and then rescued my daughter, and then I was also conveyed to the hospital.
You have suffered. So that a little bit of skin grafting,
a little bit of everything. At every point in time, they had to do something about it.
And now you can walk well.
Yeah, it's not that perfect, but it's
just
better
than
being
at
all. Now I wear only long dresses. So.
But you have your legs.
Oh yeah. It's better than sitting at one place. That's what I always say.
But are you able to work?
Yes, I'm working. Just that I've been rehabilitated, and then I'm no more. I'm a theater nurse. I specialized in that area. But because of the situation, I couldn't stand much. So I had to
they reassigned you?
Yes, to somewhere I sit more often.
Where do you work?
I'm in Kolebu.
Oh.
Plastic surgery unit.
Oh, so you know Dr. Anyiba?
Yeah.
Dr. Anyiba is my very good friend. We took one case.
The way he has suffered on me.
Dr. Anyiba is very patient. I remember we brought a lady who came on the show, Joyce, with the acid burns.
Yeah.
And when we're coming, I felt it was a hopeless situation. But he walked us through, we're able to raise the funds. And I'm sure it's got into the construction of her ear. It's taken us years to get there.
Yes, plastic surgery is like that. It's not a one-time.
Yeah, he said it. He said it's not going to be in a year or two. Yes. It could be in 3-4 years for you to get her in a good enough condition.
Exactly.
So I have to applaud all the doctors at the plastic surgery units. They are amazing and they have time.
Yes.
They take their time to talk to you. I remember when we went, I was asking them, what are the risks for this woman? Because she has children and part of her head was cancerous, but we're like, don't worry, we'll work on it. So the first surgery, they worked on taking the cancerous part out, and they took some skin from her thigh and they patched it. I was like, oh my God, you're amazing. Because to give Ghanaian doctors this kind of wisdom, because mostly you have to fly the person out to do it. But now you go to Kolebu and they do everything. Yes. So we keep on saying we have to patronize made in Ghana. Go to Kolebu, whatever the situation is, they're going to look after you well, and it is home. It's better than traveling. Then you have a complication. Your mother cannot come, your husband cannot come, your children cannot come. Kolebu, Uber, taxi, they are there. Mm-hmm. We have to trust our doctors to do a good job. And trust me, we have some good plastic surgeons in Ghana.
Yes.
Some of the world's top notch. But it's just because we do not trust them enough to do some of these things for us. But if we give them that trust, they will do their best for us. So let's learn to patronize our own doctors to work on us when we have issues and stop traveling out. It's such a shame to us because they've done amazing. Because with what you are saying, that Naina say,
and I lost some bones, I lost some flesh. So like you said, they have to take some flesh from somewhere and put it there, some bones from my ribs and add up. And so they've really done well. They've really, really done well. Every step of the way.
Wow.
They've really done well. Orthopedic surgeons and then the plastic surgeons, they really came together and
solid teamwork.
Yes.
But you had seen people go through it.
Yes.
Where you are the nurse and you are the one, oh, you're going to be fine. Oh, it's all right. Oh, the pain will be okay. And this time you were experiencing it.
Yes.
What was it like? Talk is cheap, or when you experience it, like, hey, Charlie, I'm Crawford.
Well, I'm the type that don't want to see people suffer, and I think that's why I went into nursing. So I know my colleagues can attest to that. I'm really, really nice to my patients. Sometimes I even cry for them.
Oh.
Yes, I even cry for them. So I always put myself in their shoes. And that's one thing that's really kept me going. That if you put yourself in somebody's shoes, you understand. You don't get the full meaning, but you understand to a point what the person is going through. Yes. So being a patient, and it was one thing I was always saying before the accident, that anybody can become a patient one day.
At any time.
I keep saying that, it was one of the things I kept saying, that anybody can be a patient one day. So we should be careful how to treat people. Yes.
Being a nurse, being in a hospital where you're supposed to be working, what was the support system like from your colleagues?
Oh, I had a very good support. I mean, I can't single one person out that this person, I really had the support. I really, really had the support from the doctors, the nurse, almost everybody.
Everybody.
Yes. So, and I always say that when you are sick, your money, your property, your wealth cannot take care of you. It's people. So be nice to people. Once a while, call somebody.
Check on them.
Sometimes, so be a dream be suiting. Take a call, pick a phone and call the person, yes. And I, most of the time, once a while, I call my friend. So I had that kind of support. People were really willing to see me back on my feet.
Thank God. Wow. So how were you managing not seeing your children? How long were you in the hospital?
For the first time it happened, I was there for almost, I think, between 4 and 6 months. That was the first time it happened. So, and because the second one was breastfeeding, I remember they were bringing her to the hospital every morning to breastfeed, and then they would take her back. And so at this point, I would say that anytime, we should pray all the time. We should thank God all the time. Anytime you go and you come back to your house, you should say thank you. When you get the opportunity to wake up in the morning, say thank you to God. At every point in time, we shouldn't cease praying. We should pray, because it can happen to anybody. Yeah. I decided I was going to Mokola, so I was going to leave my kids with my mom, but I ended up in the hospital for almost 6 months. I didn't plan it. So it can happen to anybody. And in your difficult times, you should continue to trust your higher power. I say higher power because it's not everybody who believes in God. But for me, behind God, there's no option. I know it has been Him throughout. Yes. Because when it even happened, how it even happened, Stacy, you won't believe it. That chair that I sat on, it was usually my mom. And when I leave my kids with my mom, one is standing here, one is standing here. And I can't imagine this thing happening to my mom and my 2 kids. So I'm always glad it's me. And at her age, she couldn't have survived it. 19 surgeries. Where? She wouldn't. They would amputate her, and she's quite heavy. I mean, I can't stand it happening to my mom. So sometimes I say I thank God. People don't understand, but I'm okay. And throughout the way, I've been positive, and I know that for whatever reason that happened, God is really making it out good for me. Yes.
Did you miss your children?
Yes, I did. I did. I really did.
Were there times you felt, what if I don't go back home?
Yes. Excuse me. I remember one day when I was in the hospital, they brought the kids to come and visit me. And because I was in the hospital, it was their dad who were taking care of them. And he has to go to work at the same time, be with them. So they went to school one day, and then they usually close by 6 o'clock. The last person has to pick the child. That is, even if you are doing extra time for the kids. So they went to school one day, and I think the father was locked up at work, so he couldn't pick them. So my first one came, and when they visited me, she told me, "Mommy, they locked the gates and they put us outside."
The school? Are you serious?
They put them outside with the security man because the last teacher has to leave and the next day they are coming. Sometimes I understand them. And
but that teacher could have easily called someone and taken the kids.
Because the dad said he was coming. So she left. Everybody has come for the kid. And what she told me, that really broke me down. Sorry. She said she was sitting by the gutter. They were sitting by the gutter and mosquitoes shoot them. I was really sad. And I know that if I were to be around, it wouldn't have happened to them. So yes, I do miss them. And then we have little plays we had in the house and all those things. And I have to be in the hospital going through that kind of pain. I mean, it was heartbreaking.
So it was just your husband?
Yes, other family members supported, but there wasn't anybody who was actually staying there to do it. So,
were there times you felt you wouldn't go back home?
Yes, I gave up at a point in time, and then I came back to myself. And
what made you feel that way?
Yeah, because it was too difficult. When it happened, I have to be lying on my back because I couldn't move, and I had sores behind my head, my shoulders, my buttocks, my knees.
Yeah, because when they cut.
Yes, you know, the heat alone at my back. Sometimes I have to beg people to come and fan my back for me. So when I look at all those things, I said, no, maybe it's better to let it go. But at the same time, I look at my kids. They were very small at that time. And I know the way I handle them. Nobody can do it for me. I'm very meticulous. The way I arrange my things, the way when I go out with them and somebody touches them, I come home, I want to bath them with Dettol, you know, Mom said. Yes.
Being too careful.
Very careful. I iron their dresses from everything to their panties. I arrange their things. They are eating. I'm very careful with what they eat and all those things. So I thought about all those things and I said, no, I have to really push for the kids.
We all have a time that we get broken. We all hear stories that gets you to think about life, about how we live as a people, and what could happen tomorrow. We'll be right back after this break.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutrimix. The goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk. Just add to water and enjoy the perfect cup of winning energy.
Milo! This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Football pa and Nutri high sense as sponsor Euro 2020 Edia Maono ne sasunti na yatete TV so say who Edia Maono high sense Euro 2020 TV super promo can who kwajo brand new high sense TV and board that form pictures ne clear na color ne deep sound quality ne so de one it high sense TV so de entry power about down one access you are akona utu sa abefo 18th June, I call him 11th July. Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. Emma Refisa, Hisense and Kwan, Emma 5 years warranty. Hisense Hero 2020 TV Super Promo. I cost Hisense showrooms. I want Ghana for Nanina. What you would you not send you? Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people. Hisense, official sponsor at the Hero 2020.
Hey, Flores, what are you thinking?
I love your dress. Hey, GTP.
Of course, Clemento. Me and GTP go way back.
Thank you.
And I rock it confidently.
Your dress is colorful.
That's GTP. Our colors don't run. Yes, that's genuine.
Madam.
Another way to ensure the GTP you're buying is authentic is by scratching the white sticker to reveal the 12-digit number. Text the number to the short code 1393 across all networks for free, and you get a text within seconds telling you if your GTP is authentic or not. Original GTP is also available in open markets, shops, and online at www.buygtp.com.
GTP. Timeless.
I remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas extra long sanitary pad took the worry away easy.
Yes, comfort, I got yes, confidence, I got yes.
The new Yas extra long sanitary pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow. Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi, is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got yes, confidence, I got
yes.
We got yes, protection, I got
Yas extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes, protection.
Hello, your friend Jackie. So we will be a winning on who are the jet to Semia and Pimpino, your 25 gems if in Kitadia, your near Brucia, your fans, any and down for Enyam. Nanso, who bet to me about home by using a Donko hand sanitizer, debia, any bribia. Every say your 25 gems if in Yama Yasa isom. A Donko hand sanitizer, bet to me about home by debia, free gems, bacteria, you need in home. A Donko hand sanitizer, sure or do. Never home by
FD Ashwisha said Jadian Kratoimu Ajia Tum say a underarms. You don't usually think about them. You protect them from sweat and odor, but that's not enough. What they need is something that takes care of them, so they feel good whatever you put them through. Introducing Dove Antiperspirant. It goes beyond 48-hour protection, giving you long-lasting dryness and soft, smooth underarms. Dove Antiperspirant cares for your underarm skin like never before.
To help fight the spread of germs, learn Lifebuoy's hand washing habits. Wash hands with soap or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Together, let's help fight the spread of germs in Africa.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutrimix. The goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk. Just add to water and enjoy the perfect cup of winning energy.
Milo! Milo! This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This week, we have a winner, and we are going to visit her to give her special something from Hisense. So, you know what? Just follow me. Hisense at Aroma.
Okay.
Yeah, shop has Mami Bisa, okay, now for restoration.
Okay, media or him we a general. One day me and I'm the TV Nico to Joy Prime, and I'm tell him we a just story no. Since then, Mammy Rain fee story neither because me who say. The me film wa me say me university a me nye adwuma nya me tete obi fe mu more than the me film hwe me bia we do ene
Enti Rose and the Hisense omoto memra wo eye gas burning because about say we your bad time oben no aduane amankura di ana what shop you cry na so yare aba nya aduane bia na yedi nti de si wadwuma na wa wo ye waduane di kakra nti Hisense for say me fa we embrel
any true wejuma panintini some of us no get inspiration from these things be another be anametiana metete but from what I watched no me who say any that so homa me da sipa
Rose, yes, we dance. Yeah, Becca so na ye near wo ye no. E wo mu a ye be sign abestra. Nempacho until last words to high sense anything.
Oh, me do masi. Any juma pa mo ya baby bia lo mo fa we fi Nyankopon so nso ma. Na anytime bia me fridge ato. The oma ye. Me ko to mo fridge.
Because they say yes.
Me ko to mo fridge ni straight up. Me ko to straight up. Me ko to straight up.
Introducing Nestle Milo All-in-One Nutrimix. The goodness of malt, milk and cocoa in Milo, and even more milk. Just add to water and enjoy the perfect cup of winning energy.
Milo! Milo! This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back from the break, and that is our winner for this week's High Sense Per Crazy Giveaway moment. And honestly, Sophie's story has really weakened me. You're a strong woman.
That's what they say, but I think it's God.
It is God.
It's God. I've never looked back. There were times people tell me, you have to go and look into your matter. Maybe it's somebody who is doing this. And I said, no, I don't have any option apart from God.
If God allowed it, it's the will of God.
And right from the beginning, the way it happened, I know God's hands were in it. Mm-hmm. Right from the accident scene, I lifted my head and I saw a colleague amongst the crowd. So I told her, please help them to organize and take me to the hospital. That's alone, because everybody
timely
intervention. And right on the way, I was able to remember somebody's number and call. Apart from that, when we got to the accident center, I've worked in Kolibu for so long. I've never seen that place that quiet before. The place was very quiet, and I received all the attention. So from everything that have happened, apart from that, when I was in the resuscitation, every time on my left, on my right, people were dying. They bring people and the next moment they were gone. And I was there. When I came to the ward, the same thing. I was having issues with the legs, even though we wanted to save it so badly. There are things that came in that, you know, that if someone else, they might have gone ahead and amputated it, but God kept it. There are people who came with very small wounds and then it becomes something else, the legs are gone. So I know it's God right from the beginning, and in the space of this time, I always say that life is like a school. I mean, problems is simply part of the curriculum. I can't imagine life without problems. Mm-hmm. It will be boring. So some of these things will keep you on your toes. And it's one thing that has kept me going. Apart from that, in the course of the accident, when I was just getting up from the wheelchair, God blessed me with a son. I had 2 girls before.
You are joking?
Yes, I had a son.
Even through the accident, you were busy?
You see you.
And then I was your sister.
And I wept when I realized I was pregnant because I didn't see it early. Usually my pregnancy is very difficult, but this time I didn't feel anything. When I saw it, it was getting close to 6 months. Mm-hmm. And the doctor said that we planned to even go and take it out because at that point I was going through a surgery. I was going to have a surgery. And then my orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Salau, he said that if you don't have that child, I'm not going to take care of you again. Oh, so God I did. Bless. And 3 years after, I understood why God gave me that son. Because there were issues that happened. I was seriously betrayed. And there were things that happened. I realized that God is a foreseeing God. He knows what was coming to happen. And he made me, I don't want to share it publicly, but it's something that I knew God gave me that son just to wipe my tears. I really went through a serious one, and I just thank God for it, because when I was coming to have the child, the obstetrician was contemplating the drugs we were having from the surgeries and all those things could affect the child. You can give birth with a child with no nose and no
deformity.
Yes. So, you know, but at a point in time I said, no, if God put it there, he should protect it. I mean, you can't give me something that is bad. So if you have put it there, then let it be something. And I remember that day on the operation bed when they told me it's a son. You won't believe it. I forgot all my pain. I was so happy because I had a son. So through it all, there are good things that have happened. I mean, I kept my smile. And I always say that you should smile all the time because apart from it makes you beautiful and handsome, it also puts a smile on somebody's face and you brighten somebody's life. There were times people came to visit me, and when they are coming, they want to come with tears. But I've shed enough tears. And sometimes when somebody is crying, I tell them, you don't need to cry. I have shed enough tears for the whole world. So you don't need to cry. And they want to come with tears. And I said, no. So I will meet you with a smile. If I am going through the problem and I'm smiling, why should you cry? Yes. So, and there are times I'm really crying. I'm in pain. But anytime somebody is coming, I try to show my smile. And I know people will attest to that. As for my smile, I don't joke with it.
How did your husband take it?
I know it wasn't easy for him. You know, men, they would try to be strong.
Yeah, wear the strong face.
It wasn't easy for him, especially when we're having a beautiful home. And then just one day, the whole family is dispersed. My children, one is with my mom, one is with my brother. He is staying alone. He has to be coming to take care of me in the hospital. His work is there. You know, I know it wasn't easy for him, but we try to encourage ourselves because, as I said, problem is part of life. I mean, you can't take it out. It will happen. And then time heals everything.
Yeah.
Yes, time heals everything. You just have to give time some time and it will heal. And always I kept it at the back of my mind that however good or bad the situation is, it will change one day. There's nothing that has been celebrated forever. If the Black Stars score a goal, we all jubilate and the whole world is on fire. But in a short time, everywhere keeps quiet. Yeah. So I knew that no matter what
was going through,
yes, there will be a time that things will cool down. Because I remember there was one surgery I had, and for continuous 3 weeks, I was in pain. I sleep in pain, I wake up in pain. And I called my roommates in training college, and I told her, Annette, I wish I'll wake up one day and all this thing is a dream. So it's difficult, but the Lord kept us.
Did a condition ever give you an imagination that what if I'm no longer complete for my husband because he's human? He would have to deal with a wife who cannot move around by herself after the surgery, be in a wheelchair, push you around, cannot take you out to fancy places like you might have been used to. Were you worried about that?
Yes. Not only that, there were other things I was very worried about, and it was one of them. One, I was schooling. I know that my job too is a standing job. So with this, I know it's going to change. Things are going to change, and I don't know how they were going to take it, whether I was going to be taken out of work or whatever. Apart from that, I felt that I couldn't care for my children the way I used to be. I was doing a lot of things. I was doing part-times, doing businesses up and down. But with your legs, without your legs, you can't move. And all these thoughts came. I was also schooling. I finished 300. I was going to level 400 to complete my degree. And all these things ceased. I mean, so there are a lot of things. I know financially it was going to affect us. It's going to affect my home. So with that particular side, I was really scared. But I made up my mind that it's not me. Nobody will invite any bad situation
into their home.
Yes. So if he chooses to go, fine. I have a very supportive family. So who has always stand by me in whatever way. So I wasn't really bothered, even though
it could be part of life.
Yes, but I was willing to go through everything.
When you came home, how was settling in like? Because everything was different.
Yes, it was really difficult, but as I said, in every situation, I remain positive, and as I care for other people. So my other tenants were very supportive. I was in the wheelchair when I came the first time, and I was in it for almost 3 years, and I still have to do things for myself. I bath for my children in my bedroom. I use a pan, I bath for them, I dress them up for school. If I want to wash, I call my landlady. She will fetch me water. I sit in the bedroom and do it. And then she'll come and hang it for me. The other people at work, I was so nice with them. And I just need to make a call. They will come to my house. We were quite close to the hospital. So they will come to my house, come and help me out, hang it for me. When it's dry, they will bring it, I'll fold it, I'll sit in the wheelchair and iron it. So I was managing, even though I couldn't move around like before, but in the wheelchair, I was still doing what I have to do.
Did it change your perception about life?
Yes, a big one, because I have never dreamt that I will have an accident. I mean, it has never crossed my mind. So it's, as I kept saying, that everybody can become a patient one day. The reality was there, that anything can happen to anybody. When I hear people's house burning, I mean, sometimes you say that, why, how can they sit down and a smoke will start and they will sit down and watch a whole building go off? But I realized that anything can happen to anybody because I didn't invite it. I wasn't on the road, I wasn't driving, I wasn't crossing the road or anything, but it happened to me. So I came to the reality that, I mean, life is some way. It can change at any time. Yes.
When you started work, was it difficult? We live in a society where people are extremely judgmental.
Yes.
Did you ever feel like looking over your shoulder because you pass and someone would say something about you?
Well, if somebody said anything, then it would be at my back. But the kind of support I had from work, when I resumed to, it was the same. I mean, everybody was happy to have me. Apart from that, they didn't make me do too much work because they knew that I'm not in that position now. And sometimes I try to do it and they would say, yes. Sometimes it makes me feel bad, but at the same time, I knew they cared about me, yes. So, I mean, you shouldn't compare yourself with anybody. You don't know what their journey is about. Sometimes we are too quick to criticize when we see certain things. There was this new person who came to my workplace and I was sitting down and she didn't understand why everybody is up and about. And I was sitting, yes, until somebody told her this is her situation. But before then, she has tagged me as the lazy type. And she thinks I didn't want to work. That's why I was sitting. So we shouldn't be quick to criticize or judge people. You don't know why the person is in that position. Yes.
Wow, this has really taught us lessons today.
Apart from that, when we were coming up, after the accident, I saw my colleagues, they continued their education, they were being promoted at work. Things were moving on for people, them. Yes. And in my condition, it was taking me back. It was taking me back. So people were saying, now. I said, no. I realized that I have to take care of myself. First. When you are even 60 years, you still want to further your education.
Yes.
You can do it. Whatever you want to do in life, once you are determined, you can do it. So I just didn't bother about people going forward, and I was left behind.
So were you able to get the degree eventually?
No.
But you know it's not too late. I don't believe in having limitations when it comes to growth.
Yeah.
Sometimes God will delay certain things, but it does not mean He has denied you that thing. I always say that you should always look at timing. If the timing is wrong, you will struggle, you will try, it wouldn't work. But the fact that you can stand on your feet, walk from where you sat, climb onto this stage, means you are set for another challenge. Because when you were sick on that hospital bed, I'm sure you're just lying on your back or lying on your tummy because your back was hurting. You couldn't go to class in that condition.
No.
You couldn't even learn. But now you have gone through it. And definitely with your story and the records, the school would know it wasn't deliberate.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a challenge. Go back to school.
Yeah, I'm going.
Tell them you're ready and finish off that year. And I'm promising you I'll be at your graduation.
Thank you.
I want to see you come out with that certificate. I want to see you fly your cap to the sky.
Thank you.
Because you are a strong woman. And strong women don't break. They don't give up because a wind blew. Sometimes when the wind blows, you see a lot of dirty things on the floor. But the moment the wind blows, it blows all of them away. And that's why it needs. So sometimes the wind comes to blow the dirt out of our life, to give us a playing field, to become better. So do not let this condition quell you to go like, oh, no. I want to see you get that degree. I want to see you get that master's. You feel like doing it. Go on and get a PhD. Nothing should stop you. If God has kept you till now, He did it for a reason, for a purpose, to glorify Himself, to let you become a testimony that people can look at and say, oh, if Sophie did it, I can do it. So don't give up. And most importantly, there is no better role model to your children than you. So don't let them down. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
So before I let go of you, it's your turn to pick a card.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for coming. You take home a Hisense rice cooker. Yeah, so we'll be cooking some rice. When should I come home?
Anytime.
Thank you very much. And this is fresh out of the box from Hisense to you. And that is not all. From Lexstar Ghana, producers of Yas products, I have some few goodies for you and the family. Yes, so let me help you with that one. I think I can place it here.
Thank you.
Yes, you have your Yas products. You have a whole bucket of Yas washing powder.
Wow.
You have some sanitary towels. You have toothbrushes. You have tissue papers. And it's all for you and the family. So God richly bless you. So if you don't know somebody's story, you think you are the only person with challenges. But the most important thing about life is how you rise above those challenges. So I'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hooch Corn and Choco Flakes to Hisense, Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level, to La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, GTP, Jim Ray Estate. We're saying a very big thank you to you, and of course to Multi-Credit Savings and Loans for coming up with a group loans where group members of 5, 7, and 9 can actually come to you and get a loan to better their businesses. We are saying a very, very big thank you to you. We'd also want to say a very big thank you to Ophelia of ABS Collection, to Divine Kasi, Style by Yemi, Chocolate Hair, GH Beauty Artistry, and of course the Souza Catering for always making sure that we get the best of food to eat on this set. Always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you.